Guys, I'm at 64 Josh, and this is going to be a bonus episode of Smash Bros. Cast. So this may be something that becomes a regular thing. I don't know. It's not going to go into the numbered episodes. We're going to keep that going. These are just going to be some bonus episodes where I'm going to take some questions. I'm going to get some, bring some people in on the Discord to ask some questions live, and it's just going to kind of be like a live call-in show. So we're going to go with our first question here. This is from Carpet. I'm going to move him into the stream room right now. Here we go. And Carpet, what's going on? You're on the Smash Bros. Cast. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Hey, it's going good. It's going good. Your Pikachu's been giving me some problems today. Attaboy.
Yeah, I was having fun with him. He's pretty crazy. He has a lot of hit stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. So, what was your question?
So, a couple of days ago, you were talking about, and I don't remember if it was when you were doing the GSP grind or anything, but you were talking about this sparkle or this shine that happens whenever you fast fall correctly. Mm-hmm. And I've been like racking my brain trying to find out what that is, because I've been sitting in the lab just going down, trying to fast fall and seeing if I can catch anything with my eye, but I haven't seen anything. So I was just curious what you were talking about. Yeah,
so what happens when you fast fall, you will see just a little spark. Basically, it's usually like for instance, if I'm fast falling with Mario, it's typically, if I'm standing upright, it's going to be up kind of by his head, and it's little. It's not like it flashes the whole screen or anything like that. It's just like compared to the character, I mean, it's probably about the size of Mario's fist, maybe even a little smaller. Okay, it's just a little spark, and it happens very quickly. It's not. And so, and obviously you're going to know when you fast fall correctly too, just by the fact that you are falling faster. So, and it looks like Pudding is saying a correct fast fall will happen when at the peak of your jump. So it could be that, like he's saying there, like if you're doing a short hop and you're at the top of that short hop, but I believe you can, you can see that spark at almost any point, because I'll throw it like if I don't know if you're watching on screen right now, but if you see the way George is moving, you see that little spark that's coming out almost every time he jumps into the air. It's very fast, but if you pay close attention, you're gonna see it. Right. Let's see.
It's like purple.
Yeah, it's a purplish white spark, and it's just that initiates your fast fall. So you saw it. Yeah. So there you go. That's and just look at on the screen right now. Look at the way George is moving. Like it helps you to move so much faster, because you're able to just get around much quicker. So that's one of the things I go into training often, and I move left, right, up, jump, fast fall, like back air, fast fall, because you can do that fast fall in the middle of your back air, in the middle of your neutral air, like that. You can utilize that to where you can be falling to line yourself up. I've seen some of the pros like Ally. He'll go for his dunk with Mario, but he may not throw it right at the top of the fair, right at the top of the jump. He may fast fall next to somebody and then throw that fair just to make sure he connects without it. If they tried to air dodge or something like that, especially in 4, it'd be a little different with Ultimate now. But so it's definitely something you want to work into your just your movement, and it will help you move much quicker. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, I was just curious about that spark. I was also curious if you've ever messed with a different control scheme for Smash, because one of the first tournaments I ever went to, I noticed everyone had these different control schemes. Different buttons are wired to different things, and I really took away from that when I was leaving that tournament, because I came up with my own control scheme, which really helps me with short hops and stuff.
Cool. What is that? Why don't you share that with us?
So what I do is I have tap to jump off, and I have X as my jump and Y as my shield, or not shield, grab. My apologies. And so what I do is I set my left trigger to attack, and it's kind of unorthodox because a lot of people I've asked have been like, no, that's weird. I would never set a trigger to like an attack, like the A button. And it just works for me because I'm using two different hands to put in inputs really quickly. Instead of having to roll my finger from like jump to attack, I just have to press X and then left trigger, and so it lets it come out in succession.
I like it. Yeah, I've seen other people talk about using triggers for jump, and like other people like to use the tilt, the C stick for their tilt instead of their smash attacks, and so the thing is, like, I've had that question a lot, like, is there a right way? And the answer is the right way is how you like it best, honestly. Like,
of course.
That's kind of the best way to answer that question, because it's all going to boil down to personal preference, And I like what you said about how you don't have to like try to move your thumb, right? Your thumb gets to kind of stay put while your index finger's doing more work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Without having to do claw, because, man, that messes up your hand.
Of course. It makes it hard to hit shield, too, with your ring finger or whatever it gets to at that point.
Right. Might as well throw your toes in the mix at that point,
Yeah, some single Joy-Con action.
Yes.
All hands and feet on deck.
That's right. I've got a little experience with that, so. Cool, man. All right, well, hey, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Of course.
All right, you take it easy.
Likewise.
All right, next up we have Scrumpy. All right, here we go. Scrumpy, what's going on?
Hi.
Welcome to the Smash Bros. Cast. How you doing?
I have been welcomed. I'm doing good.
Are you? Awesome. So what's your question?
Hold on, I gotta pull it up. So do you notice yourself getting better over time, or it's like very minor things, just being like I don't know how to explain it, but like little minor things, like, oh yeah, this is now quicker, or whatever.
It's gonna come down to the way that you practice. Some things are gonna be very obvious, like you might find that you have some habits that you can then break. For instance, I've noticed with myself, as of recent, one of the things I have fallen into doing is if I get knocked way up into the air, I will hit my air dodge and fall to the left. That's something that I find myself, I kind of just fell into a habit of doing that. And then I was playing with my son last night, and I was noticing that he was picking up on that. And he would place himself directly underneath me, like reading it like a book. And I was like, oh, I have to adjust this, right? So there's certain things you're going to be able to go into training, right, and practice and be like, oh, now I'm better at short hopping, right? So the simple answer to your question is yes, right? If you're struggling with a certain thing, say, short hopping, throwing your nair, throwing your back air consistently, jumping into training and doing that over and over again is absolutely going to help you improve your game, and you're going to see those improvements when you go up against a human opponent.
All right. And also, is there a better way to do short hops with stick jump? Because I have that on because I just prefer that, because I like going off to the ceiling. So
I see the tap jump.
Yeah, tap jump. That's what it's called.
So personally, I don't use it. I'm guessing it would just be something that you would have to practice getting the feel for it down. Like I'm one of the things that I spend time in training right now is just short hopping with the button, because it doesn't feel the same. It's a much lighter press. Now, about the attack plus jump short hop in Ultimate, right?
Yeah, where you attack and then jump, jump and then attack.
If you hit the two buttons at the exact same time, you will short hop and throw that attack. So if you
Oh, so you like short hop and do like
your fair, or your you can do your nair that way, and you can do your back air that way. Right. So that's a real quick way. There is you lose a small percent of damage dealt by doing it that way, so it's kind of a little bit of a penalty, but it really is not that much of a factor. And I know for me, one of the things with Mario that I found is really helpful is I will run up, hit those two buttons, and do my down air, and he does that quick tornado that can turn into I can start a combo out of it, or I can reset neutral with it. So it's going to boil down to the character you're playing with, but that is a great way to start incorporating short hops into your arsenal now, while you practice getting your short hops down with if you're using tap jump. And honestly, I've never even tried, so I don't know if there's a sweet spot, and it may not even be recommended. It may be one of those things that's like, no, if you're going to short hop, you still need to use the button. That could end up being the case. So I would just head to the practice, the training room, and see how it goes.
All right. I will definitely do that.
All right, boss. Hey, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.
Okay. All right. So we have a couple more questions. And Leo says just labbing it out. So Leo, and I'm not sure, Crawler might be able to jump in here too. I don't know if either of you guys can jump into the waiting room. We can get some perspective from both of these guys. So, nephew 101 from the chat is saying he wants to be on, but he doesn't know what to ask. Well, if you got any advice, nephew, I've seen the way you're playing. I've seen your movement. So if you've got any advice for how to improve movement, jump into the waiting room, and we can discuss that. I'll throw you in the call right now. While he's jumping into the waiting room there, I do have a question from Kezia. It says recovery is something I need to work on. How would you go about practicing it? Well, that's going to be in training or playing with you can play it with a bot, or with a sparring partner too. Find somebody to play with and work on that. So, Leo, what's going on? Did you hear the last question we just got here?
No, I did not.
Okay, so it says recovery is something I need to work on. How would you go about practicing it? Well, I'm saying if you're by yourself, jump in either just in training, practice jumping off, getting back on the stage, practice the different ways of getting back on the stage, whether you jump back on, you hit your trigger and roll back on, you just... what I think up makes you jump, I believe. Just hitting left or right on your stick just has you stand up, and then you can actually hit down on your stick, drop down, and then jump to give yourself a variety of ways to get back up. And it's something that it's easy to fall into a habit the way you get up. I oftentimes I hate this, but I do it regularly. I just stand up and try to shield, thinking it's going to work, and I get punished so often. There's so much lag just standing up and then trying to hit that shield that you're gonna get hit almost every time. So right. It's something that is something. I hear little kids. So it's something that you can work on in a variety of ways. I don't know what are some ways you work on your recovery.
Well, first of all, hey everybody. Basically, I play a lot on quick play. I play my brother, who recently got a Switch too. So, and he plays Little Mac. But Josh, you've played him before too. He kind of has a weird roll and edge guard with Little Mac. The way that he does it, it's not as good in Ultimate as it was in 4, but he kind of has helped me in that way where, and with the new mechanic, you kind of can come up off the edge, jump in, do an air dodge, and you're kind of just there. I would not recommend that personally, but with every character, there's kind of their ups and downs and how they recover from the edge. I play Toon Link, so it's a little easier for me to just kind of come up and just stand there a lot of the times, because people like to pressure with projectiles. Like if Link is halfway across the stage, he's going to shoot me with an arrow, and Toon Link's shield kind of just blocks that anyway. But yeah, I would say that was pretty good advice. You kind of want to practice against either people, or like when it's not in a high pressure situation like a tournament or something, practice against the computer, and just that term that I said in the chat a little while ago is labbing it out. You kind of just want to practice over and over until you're literally just bored of it. Like it just will become muscle memory to the point of you being able to do that.
Crawler, you got anything to add to that, Chief?
I think the biggest thing with recovery is kind of like what Leo said, is just spend your time working in the training room and just practicing the different options that you have with your character, because not everyone has a up B that will add to your recovery, so just make sure you're understanding your moves going in. Also, one of the biggest things is utilize the stage for protection, and get to know that slide up the side of the platform, because that'll kind of, if you're doing it just right, you'll snap at the very end, and you won't end up sitting there with move lag there as you're coming off that up B move.
That landing lag gets me punished so often.
Yep. I mean, I've been playing a lot in Ultimate with Corrin still and K. Rool, and especially with K. Rool, I've played against a few in quick play, and some of the ones that don't think about it and end up with that helicopter way up above the middle of the stage, they're just ripe for punishment as they're coming back down. You can up air them, you can just wait for them to land, and you can hit them with a charged smash attack. So kind of just reducing the amount of time, or not putting yourself in a situation that's easily punished, and giving you options. You have 4 different options if you can snap yourself to the ledge there. You can just stand up, you can jump up, you can attack up, or you can dodge roll off the stage. So just kind of make sure you're giving yourself those options versus landing and being stuck there for a second and a half, not being able to move.
Yeah, I love when I see King K. Rool just floating above the stage. I'm like, there's so many choices now. Like, what's the best way to punish this? So definitely just work on not Carpet from chat saying never recover above stage. Like, do what you can to get that down. There are times that I miss it. I hit the side of the stage, hit up B, and I still end up not snapping to that edge like I would want to. So there are some sweet spots there, and you also don't snap to the ledge as easy in this game as you did in 4 either. So there's things that there's times that you think, hey, I'm going to land this, and you end up just falling to your death, and it's not very fun. So there's a second part to that question here. It says, then take it to the next level. Mind games about mixing up recovery options and reacting to your opponent's ledge guarding. And yeah, that's one of those things that, like, I've noticed that because I will oftentimes run to the ledge and throw that fair, I've seen people do everything they can to avoid it, and then they end up falling to their death. I don't even have to touch them, right? I don't even sometimes go out far enough that I can touch them, but just the movement alone is something that will just kind of mess with their head, and then they'll fall or get turned around or have a misinput or something, you know?
Yeah, I got gimped by fireballs today by Mario because of muscle memory from fighting you. I went low so I didn't get spiked, and he stopped short and just threw a couple fireballs off the side.
Yeah, so it's, mixing it up is very important. And you have to watch. You've got to watch your opponent, right? Like, and this is stuff that, like, if you have a sparring partner, you're gonna see similar things happen on a regular basis. You can start spotting those things, and like Crawler just said, like, he had that muscle memory from just what I would typically do to him. But you've got to really pay attention to those tendencies at the beginning of a match against a new opponent. If you're trying to, grind your GSP or things like that, you've got to be watching, like, how are they guarding the edge? What are they doing? What is safe for me right now? What isn't safe? And some of that's going to just have to come with time, right? It's not going to be something that you have immediately. You're going to have to scope out those different scenarios and find out what is safe, what isn't safe, and how you can get back to the stage and reset neutral or find yourself in the advantage versus the disadvantage. Leo, you got anything to add to that?
I mean, yeah, that's pretty well said. It's pretty much just reading your opponent, and that really just comes with time, and just kind of being aware that everybody. Let's just say, for example, using the example you just used with the two different Marios. Obviously, Crawler's used to playing your Mario all the time. And then you go and jump on quick play, you have a high GSP and you're playing someone else with a high GSP. That person might know a little bit more tech than Josh you currently have right now, or you just don't decide to use that particular type of combo, I guess. So you kind of just have to do what you're going to do first. So whether that's, being that zoner where you're standing back and kind of feeling out the beginning of the game, getting a small percent from your projectiles, or whether that's I'm going to go in and I'm going to start my grab combo, or I'm going to use my tilts, or I'm going to do all that. So you kind of just want to feel it out and go from there for sure.
Yeah, so hopefully, Kezi, hopefully that answers that question for you. We have another question from Tadawaka from the Twitch chat here. I'm gonna scroll up and grab it. Here it is. Okay, it says my question is, if you realize that your main falls in the basement tier of pretty much everyone, should you try to learn a top tier one, or progressively make your way up the tiers? I'm away from the PC right now and can't talk, but next time I'm game. So next time we may see him on a call, but I'm of the mind that you should play with who you enjoy regardless of the tiers, right? Like, just play with the character that you like best and work on. You may be at a disadvantage against certain matchups and things like that. Learn those matchups. How can you improve those? What are things you can do that are going to keep you more safe? Maybe you have to learn to play more defensively. One of the neatest things about Smash is when you see characters that are low tier, all of a sudden are winning tournaments and things like that. I think just looking at like in the Melee scene, like Peach, Jigglypuff, and stuff like that, like things changed, right? As you saw people come in and really start showing what those characters were capable of, or so I personally don't put too much into the tier list. You need to find that character that you can play well with, that fits your play style, and learn to become the best at that character. At the same time, play with more than one character. Have a couple pocket mains. This last weekend, I couldn't believe, having played with Mewtwo, who we're seeing on screen right now, how much I enjoyed playing as Mewtwo. I hated Mewtwo in Smash 4, but somebody in chat was like, throw your fair, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, here's some easy ways to combo, and having played against a number of Mewtwo's, I was like, oh, here's a few combos that I know work, or here's a few things that I know are viable options for approach, or things like that,
Yeah.
So, and the same was true with Mega Man. I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed playing Mega Man. Chat is mocking me right now for Maxis is saying play multiple characters. And I know, I mean, but I feel like I have a ton to learn with my Mario and to get better, to actually make him... I feel like I was able to do better with Mew and Mega Man than I typically do with Mario, right? And so for me, that means I need to spend more time getting my Mario better. You know, that's where I'm at. What do you think about the whole tier list thing?
Well, I don't know if anyone listening right now had watched the tournament that we did for Smash 4 in the Discord, but you know, it was just a wide variety of characters, and Ultimate obviously has a bigger roster. So I would say definitely don't put too much stock in tier lists. My brother, again, I'm gonna drop my brother. I practice with him, so my brother plays Little Mac. On I would say the vast majority of tier lists, Little Mac is very, very bottom tier, and yet, you know, Toon Link is a high tier, and my brother consistently will beat me. So a lot of the time it comes down to skill also. I mean, like, for example, like if you're online and all of a sudden you just play one of the pros, you run into a pro and they're playing Kirby or gosh, I don't know, Me Gunner, I think is what people put as one of the low Miis now. It's still possible to get 3-stocked, you know, like you really just, I don't know. It's really just the amount of time and what you want to do, like what you want to put your character into. But also at the same time, like, it is definitely good to have more than one character. Obviously, everyone knows me for my Toon Link, so I pull out Toon Link everywhere. And I have that same mindset as you. I feel like I can learn so much more. I can still do so much more with my Toon. Just to give a quick thing of what happened to me the other day. I reached Elite. I was like, okay, I can get my GSP up higher. And I went on like a 11-game lose streak. And from there, like yesterday, I made it my mission to make it back. And so I made it back, and then I sat here and I was like, I still want to play. What do I do? So I just started playing Link. I played Young Link. I played the Triforce of Links. And then I pulled out my Pokemon trainer. I pulled out the Mega Man. I pulled out Chrom. This game is so big and so vast. I would say personally not to just stick to that one character. You're playing this game to have fun. Obviously, if you're a competitive person like me, you want to be good. So maybe keep one of those higher tiered characters in your back pocket, but play this game to have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. You can keep it fresh, right? You can keep it fresh by mixing it up and playing as some other characters. I was super intrigued by the other characters I played as. So I'm not sure. Crawler, are you back yet? I know he had to step away from the mic. So he said he was muted. Yeah, he's not quite back yet. So that was Tadawaka's question. I got one more question here. I believe it's from Benji, but I think Crawler actually has that DM. Benji, I'm not sure if you're still in chat or not. If you can throw your question back in chat, and then we're gonna get let's see, what's the name here? George, who's currently on stream right now. He's gonna join us in just a little bit and talk about movement in because just watching him play, you see just how I could tell the moment I started playing against him. I was like, I could tell this guy was on another level. you could kind of just tell based on like the way certain moves come out and the way they maneuver around the stage that you just kind of know. It's the movement I strive for. So Kezia has the question here from Benji. It says, is training against a level 9 CPU valuable? If not, should I just join any online game to get better, or would you recommend to just train combos in training mode? So that question's a little bit it's not a short answer, put it that way. So level 9 CPUs are going to cheat. so keep that in mind, right? It's still not going to be playing against a human. You're not going to get the same practice. That being said, if you have no Wi-Fi, right, and you're just traveling or something, right, then it is it's a high level that you can practice against. What I would say is, start with 7, and then try 8 and see how 9 does. But if you find that it's like, wait a minute, this thing's cheating, then step it down a level. When I'm in a place that I don't have my son with me, because if we're driving or something, like we'll both pull out the switches and just play each other wirelessly, which is super great practice, other than you're just not playing with the GameCube controller. But if I'm doing that, typically I'm going to jump into training, and I'm going to probably set up a bot that's at least like 5 or 6 or something like that, and that way I can switch my training up, so I can practice combos right against a bot that's not moving. So I can do my grab to up throw to up air, and then up B, and get them to like 50% right off the bat. I can start practicing with other combos, things like that, things that are going to help me just get muscle memory, so that I will be able to pull these things off when I am playing against a human opponent, right? So, and then you may want to just turn that bot on to the fight setting, just so that it's moving, and it might DI out of stuff, and you might be able to see how you need to adjust the things that you are doing as you're doing those combos, right? Because if they DI left or right, are you still going to be able to land that? Is it a true combo at that point, or is it only true because the bot's not moving? You know what I'm saying? So that's. I would say there's all of those are viable things. It just kind of depends on the scenario. If you want to be able to practice this game against people, but you don't have anybody on your friends list or anybody that's around, but you don't want it to, you don't feel like you want to grind your GSP yet, you can join public arenas, and or just start your own, which I recommend, only because. A lot of times people will just quit their arena if they lose, and then you might be in the waiting room, and then you don't get to play at all. So,
sore losers.
yeah. So there are multiple ways to practice and improve, and it really just depends on how you're going in and practicing. Right? If it's combos and movement and that kind of stuff, then your training room with a bot that's not moving is going to be great. If you want to mix things up and be able to practice some of those combos against a bot that's moving, then set it on level 5, level 6, whatever, and see how it goes. Leo, anything you'd add to that?
Again, that's pretty accurate. I personally, my own regimen would be kind of going in and playing a level 9 first. Obviously, I'm not a pro by any means. I guess I'm humble bragging here. I have Elite Smash, but I'm not a pro. So my personal thing that I do is I'll play a level 9. Again, they cheat. Just everyone put that on their records. They cheat. But a level 9, and then I'll kind of go into training mode to get certain combos down, or even like when you're in the waiting room and you don't have it matchmaking in the background when you're going to do a quick play battle, and you're playing against that computer that's there that's fairly weak. I'm not sure what level it's at, but all of those don't compare to playing a human in the fact that you can't imply just do mind games with them. You can't, as we see George on the screen here, with Link and his bomb, You can't throw out the bomb, wait and explode it when you throw them back at the bomb, or something of that nature. So I would definitely recommend, if not playing in quick play, definitely doing something in the arena area for sure, or against your friends or whoever that you can play against in person.
Yeah, and we've said it before, but we have such a large community in the Discord now of Smash players. Like, find people that are better, that are going to be willing to help. You know, shoot me a message. I can't say yes every time, but there's going to be times I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then maybe there's areas I can help. You know, I know Leo is available. I know Nightcrawler is available, and Gabe and Mr. Cool Red Luigi. Like, there's a lot of people in our Discord that are always looking for matches and always looking for ways to help others improve as well. So take advantage of that. Yeah. Just take it. Yeah, and exactly, grow as a community. You might find that there's people that aren't as good as you, that you know, you may be able to give some advice to, even though you're like, well, I'm just a beginner. The funny thing is, if you're one step ahead of somebody, you're an expert in their eyes, right? That's all it takes. So we can all be helping each other. But yeah, the more you can play with people, the better practice it will be. It is one of those things that it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, because like what happened with Crawler and that other Mario, right? You play against the same with the same person and with their same character so often, and you kind of learn all their tendencies and things like that. So on one side of the fence, it's like, well, is it that great a practice? Well, you need to tell your sparring partner to mix it up a little bit more, right? Like that's what right. I took away from Crawler saying that. It's like, you know what? I need to mix things up more. And it's been something that I've been thinking about all weekend, really, and just hoping to improve that way. So looks like I think that's going to do it for our questions. We are going to get George in here after this match. I'm going to throw him in mid-match. We're going to make him talk and play at the same time. So he's gonna love that. Here we go. George, what's going on?
Oh, hello. How are you?
Do we get a little controller ASMR while you talk to us right now?
I can try. Like, I'm kind of like distracted by this match right now between this Game & Watch player.
I figured as much. We're kind of just we're laughing at your expense right now.
Oh my god.
No, so
the match is over now.
Yeah. So now you can focus, right?
Yeah.
So talk to us about movement, man. Your movement is amazing.
Oh, thank you. With movement, basically, I just watch a lot of Smash streamers, YouTubers, and I just try to mimic what they do. And when I'm playing with people that are better than me, a couple of days ago when I was still in college, there was this one guy that would always go to tournaments, and I would always watch his movements, and he would always be moving around very fast, very precise. And instead of me just watching the screen, I would watch his hands and just try to mimic what he's doing with his hands to pretty much get as fast as him and try to go even faster if I can attempt to go even faster.
No, so I really like what you said there. What are you finding that it's like? Is it more like flicking the stick, like left, right, and then short hopping and fast falling? Like, is there any technique to it or anything that you can kind of share with us?
I'm mainly flicking the left stick all around. Every time I'm foxtrotting, I'm just flicking it to the left, right, just as quickly as possible. I'm using like the least amount of my thumb as possible for it, so I can do it a whole lot faster. And short hopping, I usually hop into the training mode and just lab with it, see how fluid I can get with it.
I see. So basically, the speed is from foxtrotting, and for any, we've talked about it on the podcast and stuff, but maybe you guys are a little unfamiliar. Foxtrotting is that you can flick your stick, from one side of the stage, if you're on the left side of the stage, you can flick your stick to the right and just continue doing that, and you will basically like skip, right? It's called foxtrotting. So I just want to make sure I'm understanding correctly, but basically you're initiating your foxtrot from left to right, or twice to the left and then back to the right, and that's kind of where why your character is moving as fast as he is. Is that correct?
Yeah, I honestly think foxtrotting in this game is more beneficial than running, because when you're running, there's not that much you can do. Because if you're sprinting, you can either do a smash attack or a tilt. But if you try to do a certain thing out of it, you might accidentally do a misinput. But if you're foxtrotting, you have the ability to use any move, attack, special at will, and it's a whole lot I guess easier, comfortable than just sprinting, in my opinion.
Got you. Leo, you got anything you can add to the just movement in the game?
I mean, I think he said it best. Some people call it dash dancing. I actually watched a video today. I don't know if really there's a difference. I don't know if there's a benefit to either or, but I think I got introduced to it from listening to the Smash Bros. Cast with you and Crawler, and from there I kind of practiced it myself and have been learning. But that definitely is a benefit. You're kind of able to position yourself better even on the stage from doing that. So the old saying is true: practice makes perfect. So got to practice it.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's the saying we say most when it comes to Smash, but it's something that I definitely want to spend some time in the lab with, because my movement is where I feel is a very it's not on the level that I want it to be at, and especially with Mario, who you can take advantage of his frame data and his speed. Like I'm moving far too slowly, and I think I'm using the sprint more often, which I end up doing my dash attack far more often than I probably need to, because you dash attack shield, it's going to get punished every time. It's something that's not advised. So well, hey George, thanks so much for jumping in, and thanks for the games and everything, and for the tips. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, hey, that is going to do it for this bonus episode of the Smash Bros. Cast. Like, this is something I may do periodically, just kind of grab people from the community, get questions, get tips, that kind of thing. Really want to just be able to add, just help you guys improve your game. So if there's something you're into, make sure to jump in the Discord. Mondays are going to be the day that I do these call-in streams for Smash, and we'll see how it goes. If I get feedback that you guys enjoy it, we're gonna keep it going. All right. So thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Leo, thank you, my friend. You got a Twitter or anything you want to shout out? That's kind of how we do this typically.
Sure. You can catch me on the Discord, Leo Veritas. And I'm on all of the things also: Twitter, Instagram, not Farmers Only. I have a wife. No. But, I'm always down to play. So DM me or even just tag me.
Awesome. All right, guys. We'll see you guys in the next episode on Friday. Later.